Britney Spears is clearly not okay, and fans are more concerned now than ever. Britney Spears is seriously in a rough spot, and her latest public move is raising all kinds of red flags. She was just photographed leaving a wine bar in LA, walking to her car while holding a full champagne flute. That's not normal. I mean, is it in LA? I have no clue, so y'all tell me. But anyway, her family is understandably panicking. Her team insisted she didn't actually drink that night, but walking around with a flute like she's in some bougie movie, I mean, either way, the optics are very troubling. In the photo, she's trying to lay low, big sunglasses, a white lace scarf draped over her head, a brown plaid kind of blazer, crop lace top, low-rise jeans, red lips, the whole, you know, hide but look famous vibe. But despite her effort, paparazzi were there to catch every single moment, and she clapped back hard. In an Instagram video, she called them incredibly mean and complained they always pick her worst photos. She said she can't go anywhere without being, you know, harassed, calling the whole thing offensive. This is not just a one-off. According to insiders, this weird wine bar move is part of a pattern. There are recent reports that she's been driving dangerously, which we've seen, swerving, changing lanes, even crossing the center divider after nights out. Her loved ones are terrified. Some say she's losing control with behavior they describe as absolutely terrifying. Now, to make matters worse, her ex, Kevin Federline, released a memoir full of very heavy claims, stuff like, you know, substance dependency issues and use while breastfeeding, as well as infidelity. I mean, whether or not you believe it, sources say the book hit Britney very hard. One insider told People she's spiraling and reopening those old wounds. Her family doesn't know what to do. Multiple sources say she stopped responding to texts, ignoring calls, and isn't even reading her DMs anymore. So it's like she's shutting the world out completely. And that isolation, I mean, her loved ones see it as very dangerous. Some are questioning whether there's anyone around her who actually has her back. One person said they're worried she's surrounded by people who don't have her best interest at heart. And another person asked the scary question, how do you protect someone when she's pushing everyone away? Britney's reaction to the scrutiny hasn't made things any calmer. In that Instagram rant, she sounded very raw, tired of being judged, angry at the paparazzi. She said she feels stalked and she's just simply fed up. So yeah, this isn't just headline drama. Britney walking out of a wine bar with a champagne glass isn't really cute. It might be a serious cry for help. Her family sees the danger, so do I, and if she doesn't let people in, this could get a lot worse. So we've got to ask, how bad does it have to get before somebody actually steps in? Breaking Britney news, she's got brain damage, and it's bad. So apparently Britney Spears just dropped a bomb on Instagram, and it's not another dance video or a cryptic caption about, you know, freedom or whatnot. Nope. Britney said she's suffering from brain damage. Yeah, like actual words from her mouth. Brain damage happened to me a long time ago. That's what she said. Now, she posted a picture of herself on horseback, very, you know, riding off into my healing era, and compared herself to Maleficent, you know, saying she felt like her wings were stolen. Then she said the part that made everyone stop scrolling, that she's 100% sure brain damage happened to her years ago. She's talking about the time that she was locked in a facility back in 2018 during her conservatorship. So, you know, she said she was isolated for months with, you know, no freedom, no privacy, couldn't even close her door or take a bath alone. And she said, you know, that during that time, her logic and mindfulness in her body as one was kind of basically destroyed. Now, in her words, she couldn't move, couldn't dance, couldn't even feel connected to her own body anymore. That's when she says it all happened, when the damage was done. And, you know, if you've followed Britney's story for a long time now, you know that's not really far-fetched. I mean, the conservatorship lasted 13 full years. 13 years of being told what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go, what to eat, what not to eat, and even, you know, when to even perform. I mean, imagine like being one of the most famous women in the world and still not having control, like, over your entire life. Now, people are asking what exactly she meant. You know, is she talking about literal brain damage, like neurological trauma, or is she talking about emotional and, you know, psychological damage from years of being controlled and silenced? You know, it's almost the whole like, Was she silent or was she silenced? You know, but honestly, maybe it's both. Britney's always used very poetic language, but when someone says brain damage happened to me, you don't just brush that off. Like, that's a big deal. And of course, this is happening right as her ex, Kevin Federline, is out here with his memoir, throwing around all kinds of personal stories. I mean, the timing is honestly so messy, but Britney didn't sound like she was trying to stir drama or anything. She just sounded like she was trying to process what exactly happened to her. She also said she's moved on and feels blessed to be alive, which, you know, coming from someone who's survived everything she has, that hits hard. It's raw, it's vulnerable, and it's the kind of thing that reminds you that, you know, behind all of the chaos, all of the tabloid noise, you know, there is still a human being who's been through hell and back and is somehow still standing, still dancing, you know, knives or not. Now, the internet, of course, is very split. Some people are genuinely concerned. Others are mocking her, which sucks and, you know, is exactly the kind of thing that probably broke her in the first place. So yeah, let's stop doing that. Britney's not crazy. She's just traumatized, and trauma doesn't disappear just because a judge signs a paper and says you're free to go. I mean, the truth is Britney has always been both, you know, the performer and the product. And when the product starts talking about the damage that comes with being owned, controlled, and displayed for decades, people don't know how to handle it. But maybe that's the point. Maybe Britney's trying to show us that, you know, the system we built to worship her is the same one that broke her. So whether she meant literal or emotional brain damage, it doesn't even matter, because either way, she's saying she's not the same person she was before it all, and something in her changed forever. And yet she's still here, still dancing, still posting, still smiling, and trying to live her life. I mean, maybe those aren't breakdowns, maybe they're her way of taking back control. So Britney Spears says she's suffering from brain damage, but maybe what she's really saying is, I survived it. And after everything that's been done to her, that might be the most powerful statement she's ever made.
In May 2025, Britney Spears once again found herself at the center of a media storm after an incident aboard a flight from Cabo San Lucas, Mexico to Los Angeles. The pop icon's decision to light a cigarette mid-flight in clear violation of federal aviation regulations has sparked widespread concern and debate about her well-being and judgment, reigniting public scrutiny that has followed her for decades. On May 22, 2025, Spears, traveling with her security team, reportedly lit a cigarette while the plane was airborne. Witnesses described her as visibly intoxicated. Flight attendants immediately intervened, instructing her to extinguish the cigarette. Spears complied, but the crew alerted authorities, who met her upon landing and issued a formal warning regarding her behavior. Federal rules prohibit smoking on any commercial airline. Spears' misunderstanding of this rule, or disregard for it, becomes a focal point of this incident. The day after the incident, Spears addressed the controversy on Instagram, posting a video from the flight and offering her perspective. She described the situation as hilarious, explaining that she thought the plane allowed smoking because the drink holders were outside the seat, a detail she found unusual and apparently interpreted as a sign of relaxed rules. She also clarified that she wasn't the one to get the cigarette out. It was her friend that put it in her mouth and lit it. She did apologize to anyone that she may have offended, but her tone remained lighthearted, which suggested to some that she did not fully grasp the seriousness of the violation. Spears further remarked that she thought the officials who met her at the airport were there to support her, not realizing at first that they were responding to her behavior. For many, the episode is reminiscent of the turbulent years that led to Spears' court-ordered conservatorship. During that period, her father controlled her finances and many aspects of her life, citing concerns for her safety and mental health. Since regaining her independence, Spears has been open about her struggles and desire to reclaim her autonomy. But incidents like this one fuel ongoing debates about her readiness to navigate life without oversight. Smoking on any commercial or charter flight operating under federal regulations is strictly prohibited due to the risks of fire and the health and safety of all passengers and crew. Spears' actions not only violated these rules, but also put others at risk, prompting a swift response from flight attendants and authorities. The incident underscores the importance of adhering to aviation safety protocols regardless of celebrity status or perceived privilege. While Spears has apologized and attempted to explain her actions, the episode has fueled renewed concern about her judgment and well-being, both among fans and allegedly those closest to her. As Spears continues to navigate life post-conservatorship, incidents like these serve as a stark reminder of the challenges she faces and the ongoing debate of how best to support the star as she seeks independence and stability.
Britney Spears may be forced back into her conservatorship after just a few years of freedom from it. You remember the fairy tale of freedom, right? Well, that iconic iconic moment when Britney Spears finally broke free from that courtroom cage? Yeah, well, buckle up, because word on the glittery sidewalk is that her freedom might be hanging on by a thread again. So let's rewind for a second though. In 2021, Britney ended her infamous 13-year conservatorship, the one where her dad, Jamie Spears, basically held the remote control to her entire life. The world cheered, hashtag Free Britney trended worldwide, and it finally felt like justice. She was free, or so we thought. Fast forward to now, and reports say her own family is quietly whispering behind the scenes, wondering if Britney's losing control again, and if another conservatorship might actually be necessary. They're allegedly worried about erratic behavior and unpredictable decisions. So translation, well, they're freaking out, and we're about to see this whole circus get raised again. Now let's be honest, one minute she's dancing like it's 2003 again, and the next her family's, eyeing legal paperwork. The same people who once controlled her every move are suddenly playing the, we're just concerned card. It's honestly giving deja vu, drama, and delusion all at once. So here's what's really going on, at least from my POV. Now, her family reportedly thinks she's slipping back into self-destructive habits, posting bizarre videos, cutting people off, and making moves that seem impulsive. Nothing illegal, nothing criminal, just the kind of stuff that makes tabloid editors salivate. But when you're Britney Spears, one Instagram post can turn into a courtroom petition. The twist? This time, her family doesn't even want Jamie Spears back in full control. They just think someone needs to step in. Meanwhile, Britney's out here posting cryptic captions, calling out fake family members, and making it very clear she's not forgiving or forgetting anytime soon. The people who once locked her down are now trying to play saviors. I mean, Hollywood couldn't write irony like this. Now let's talk reality for a second. If a new conservatorship actually happens, that means she could lose control over her money, her health decisions, maybe even her freedom. Again, fans are already, lighting their digital torches ready to riot if this becomes real, because how do you go from Free Britney to oops, we did it again? Britney's made it crystal clear that she will never go back to that dark place. She said the conservatorship left deep emotional scars and she's still healing. So if anyone tries to put her under another one, it's going to get messy very fast. And honestly, it feels like concern and more like control. So less like concern, more like control. And I mean, at this point, the situation isn't about protecting Britney, it's about power. It's about who gets to profit off her name again, who gets to manage her choices, and who decides if she's fit to live freely. The people who once called the shots might just be trying to grab the wheel again. So here's what to watch and look out for. Her next post, her tone, whether, her team suddenly starts taking or talking about mental health concerns, because when that language starts opening in and creeping in, it's usually, the prelude to legal action. Listen, I love a comeback story as much as anyone, but this isn't a comeback. It's a red flag in rhinestones. Britney fought for her freedom once, and if her family's really trying to drag her back into that conservatorship life, it's about to get so ugly. Britney Spears has deleted her Instagram account after terrifying her family with her erratic behavior. Britney Spears just vanished from Instagram yet again. The pop princess, chaos magnet, and survivor of the wildest comeback in pop culture history suddenly deleted her entire account. 1 second she was posting very cryptic videos, the next, poof, gone. Fans aren't just gossiping, they're genuinely worried right now, because when Britney wipes her socials, it usually means something's up. Now, it all started after she shared a series of posts that had everyone kind of side-eyeing their phones. In one video, Britney danced in her living room, classic Britney energy, but viewers noticed bruises on her arms and bandages around her wrists. She said she had fallen down the stairs at a friend's house, adding that it's how she expresses herself through art. I mean, I'm not here for concern or pity, she wrote, except everyone got concerned, because nothing says I'm fine like deleting your Instagram after posting photos that basically scream I'm not fine. Then came the caption. She referenced trauma, wings, rehab, and brain damage, all in one emotional post that sounded more like a cry from someone who's been through hell and is still trying to find her footing. I mean, she talked about her time in rehab back in 2018 and even mentioned how the conservatorship era left her feeling stripped of control over her own body. It wasn't the typical look at my outfit Britney post. It was very raw, it was dark, it was real. I mean, she posted another caption that said, sometimes silence speaks louder, and then hours later, her whole account was gone. Fans immediately flooded X and TikTok with theories, of course. Some say she's just taking a social media detox, others think something's seriously wrong behind the scenes. The more dramatic ones are convinced that she's being silenced again, because let's be honest, Britney doesn't just just go offline for fun. I mean, every time she's disappeared from the internet, it's been tied to some major life chaos. And of course, it wouldn't be Britney without extra drama on the side. I mean, her ex-husband Kevin Federline recently resurfaced with his memoir and claims about her parenting and her mental health, which she publicly clapped back at. I mean, the timing of her social media disappearance, it's suspiciously close. Fans are connecting dots that might not even be there, but the energy around this feels a little different. People have been watching Britney closely ever since she won her freedom in 2021. I mean, that conservatorship wasn't just a legal mess, it was a 13-year cage. Now, even though she's like quote unquote free, posts like these remind everyone that the emotional scars didn't vanish with the court ruling. She's still clearly struggling, and maybe that's what makes this whole situation hit a little harder. Deleting her Instagram could mean she's trying to protect her peace. Maybe she's tired of strangers analyzing every bruise and caption, or maybe it's a silent SOS. I mean, whatever it is, the internet can't stop speculating, and it's got that same uneasy feeling fans had before the whole Free Britney movement exploded years ago. The truth is, no one really knows what's going on behind the curtain, but there's something haunting about watching a woman who fought so hard for her voice suddenly go quiet again. Whether it's for self-care or something darker, people are paying attention, and honestly, they should be. I mean, Britney's story has never been just another celebrity meltdown. It's a warning about fame, control, and what happens when the world treats a human being like a headline. Every time she disappears, it reminds us how fragile that line between freedom and fear really is. So yeah, maybe she's fine, maybe she's healing, but when Britney Spears deletes her Instagram, the world notices, and this time everyone's wondering the same thing: is she okay?
Britney Spears has revealed that she has left the US and by extension Hollywood behind. She shared this shocking confession on her Instagram, posting a series of videos to her main feed. The first was her sharing her thoughts on the paparazzi, the second of her birthday cake, and in the third she confirmed she did in fact cross that border. Let's break down all three of these clips together. Video number 1, which was posted Tuesday, features the star expressing her dislike for the photos recently taken of her boarding, presumably, knowing what we know now, the plane she took to Mexico. In the video, Spears says, "I'm not really sure why the paparazzi have me going on a plane looking like I'm wearing a Jason mask. It doesn't even look like me." Personally, I think she looks fine in the pictures. I don't fully understand the Jason mask comment. I guess it might be the sunglasses combined with some shadows on her face that give that illusion to her. Either way, she isn't happy about the way the pictures made her look. The pop pics went viral just a few days ago, along with an exclusive video obtained by the Daily Mail. Both forms of media show Britney in a long white coat with a black wide-brimmed hat and sunglasses boarding a black plane. The outfit is not worrying. What had people looking twice at this moment was the lighter in Spears' hand. It was one of those long ones. It's called a grill lighter. It's hard to miss. The star had the lighter up to her lips. The inclusion of the lighter had people talking, as a viral story from a few years ago also featured Britney Spears and fire. The star dropped interesting lore about her life in an April 2020 workout tutorial that she had accidentally burned down her home gym. Her explanation as to how the fire started was, "I had 2 candles and yeah, one thing led to another and I burnt it down." Thankfully, no one was hurt, just a couple workout machines. Spears posted a throwback to that incident last December, once again bringing that to the forefront of her fans' minds. Now it's a year later, and as Spears is pictured with a lighter while entering a plane, some dedicated fans can't help but feel that worry again. But Spears herself has encouraged people not to worry in the first of the 3 videos. She speaks about the lighter as if it were unimportant, saying, "I don't know why I have a torch in my hand. Honestly, I think my friend accidentally gave that to me." Torch being the lighter. She made it clear that she wasn't holding the lighter with evil intent or anything like that, so everyone can relax about it. Right at the end of the video, Spears makes the claim that she is not turning 42, she is turning 5, and she has to go to kindergarten tomorrow. This has got the gossip sites talking. Clearly, people are saying that Spears has lost it, that this is really concerning or disturbing, and everyone is entitled to their own outlook on the situation, which means I am too. I think she's joking and just got her age mixed up. I personally have forgotten my own age before. I know my friends and family have too. It's a completely normal human thing to do. Sure, Spears is known to be experiencing some mental health struggles, but that doesn't mean she's completely lost her head. People have been making fun of this poor girl for years. She makes one small mistake, says she's turning 42 instead of 43, and all the headlines are talking about her mental decline. The comment about turning 5 in the kindergarten stuff, I will admit, is not exactly a normal thing to say, but it's pretty clear in this video and many other things that the star has posted and said that she doesn't appreciate how the media treats her or depicts her. She's constantly being torn apart, and her mental health / state is always up for discussion, and her intelligence is often reduced whenever people talk about her latest social media uploads and other activities. I wouldn't be surprised if this comment about how she is mentally 5 years old and starting school tomorrow is her way of responding to all that. There is also the manner of the lighter that could have factored into this. I'm bringing this up because it was mentioned in the same video. Commonly, people believe that you shouldn't give really young humans access to fire, right? They don't know that what they have is dangerous, they might hurt themselves or others without knowing, etc. Maybe having everyone so concerned about her, an adult, holding a lighter struck a nerve, resulting in the joke about being 5. But moving on to the next video, this one was shared in the same post as the first of the trio. It's probably the most tame, I guess. It literally is just Spears showing off her birthday cake, and it looks good too. She describes it as a very, very cute baby cake, and she's not wrong. She goes on to say that her friend got it for her, I'm guessing because that would be wild if they got a cake for themselves on her birthday. Anyways, the third video posted separately of the other two is where Britney drops the news that she moved to Mexico. Honestly, good for her. That was at the end of the video though, so let's unpack everything that came before it. The video kicks off with Britney reiterating her disdain for the photos taken of her boarding the plane and just for the paparazzi in general. Again, making a comment about how she feels like the photos taken look nothing like her and make her look like she's wearing a white Jason mask. She goes on to call out the paparazzi for being cruel towards her over the years, especially in the way they take pictures of her. Paparazzi are still incredibly invasive today, but in the early 2000s when print magazines had million-dollar budgets for photos, it was definitely tougher and encouraged the behavior to continue and get worse as people looked for money shots. A resurfaced article from November 27, 2008, written for ABC News, details the disgusting lengths pops would go to for a picture. The article writes about how they had no problems taking pictures of Britney in a short dress with her undergarments exposed, and even worse, later taking photos of her in a miniskirt getting out of a car in which she is completely exposed. The average person, you would hope, would see something like that and put their cameras away to preserve the subject's modesty, but it seems when a magazine's budget for pictures is roughly $140,000 a week, morals shift. That number isn't something I pull from thin air. In the documentary Framing Britney Spears, the former photo director for US Weekly, Britton Stone, shared that that was the amount they could sometimes have at their disposal when it came to buying paparazzi pictures. Now, the money shot of Spears ended up being those taken on the night of her infamous 2007 public breakdown. The shocking depiction of Britney with a shaved head and attacking a car with an umbrella are burned into pop culture. The pop responsible for that moment actually did an interview for the same Britney doc in which he explained that that night was not a good night for her, it was not a good night for us, but it was a good night for us because it was a money shot. It was brought up that Britney frequently pleaded with the pops to leave her alone, to which this man said, there were times when she was like, can you leave me alone for the day? But it wasn't like, leave me alone forever. You know what I mean? Personally, I don't, but previously in the interview, he talked about how when Britney first started getting popped, she seemed more at ease with it. He even claimed that she would give up shots, meaning that she would wave and be friendly and smile for the camera. At this point in time, the paparazzi said that it was like she needed us and we needed her. Of course, things can start on a great note and end up completely horribly, like the position Spears has found herself in today, unable to do anything in public without a shutter clicking. In her video, Britney went on to say, I know I'm not perfect at all by any means, but some of it is extremely mean and cruel, before dropping the shocking news, that's why I've moved to Mexico. So it's looking like, as of right now, the reason Britney has left Hollywood and all its strings behind is because of the paparazzi and their years of harassment. The most recent posts to Britney Spears' Instagram are of her dancing in a shiny mini dress. The dancing videos, they're not new. She she posts them all the time. Britney is a super talented dancer. That's what made her a stand-up performer at the height of her pop career. Now she exercises that muscle on her Instagram from time to time. It's unclear when these videos were taken, but it does look like she did in fact change locations. The caption for the first 2 videos was, "What are we watching, my friends?" The third one didn't have one. From what she's posting on social media, it looks like she is having a great time in Mexico. Truly, I hope she is, and is able to start a fantastic new life there. Also, happy 43rd birthday, Britney Spears.
It's Britney. Back in the headlines. And this time fans want to know, is she okay? You know that feeling when you open Instagram hoping to see your pop princess living her best life and instead you're left saying, Britney, what is happening? Well, that's exactly where fans are right now. On August 19th, Britney dropped a video from her house that had people everywhere talking. She's in a polka dot crop top and pink shorts. I mean, her dogs are running around, and yes, there might have been dog poop on the floor in the background. Now she starts kind of belting out Rihanna's Unfaithful in a full-on British accent. And while the energy is giving karaoke after 2 margaritas, the setting is giving chaos. The caption read, "Messing around with lighting and cleaning my house like no tomorrow," which honestly feels like Britney trying to tell us that she's fine, but the internet is not convinced. Fans lit up the comment section. Well, not hers, because hers are turned off, of course, but on X and everywhere else people could talk. One person wrote, "How are people not more concerned about Britney Spears and the stuff she posts?" Another person said, "Sad to watch her like this." And then came the big one. Some people were actually calling for an intervention. That word alone stirred a massive storm, because if there's one thing fans have rallied against since 2021, it's controlling Britney. But as always, the fan base is divided. For every person begging someone to step in, there's another insisting Britney is just trolling us. Some believe she's leaning into her old "you think I'm crazy, I'll show you crazy" persona, turning it into like kind of performance art. One fan even wrote that Britney doesn't care about society's approval because society already failed her, and honestly, that theory does line up with her vibe. Then, just 4 days later though, she upped the ante. Britney posted a nude photo, arms stretched up, back to the camera, only wearing black knee-high boots with a single rose emoji covering what needed to be covered. No caption, comments disabled, but in less than half a day it pulled in over 200,000 likes. It was classic Britney, provocative, unapologetic, and totally polarizing. And this wasn't just a one-off. Over the past few weeks, Britney has been serving content that ranges from like funny to confusing to flat out concerning. Videos of her dancing outside to old Justin Timberlake tracks, speaking in random accents about snorkeling or twirling in her closet while surrounded by piles of clothes. She even posted bikini videos where she switches accents mid-sentence, talking about Turks and Caicos like she's auditioning for a role nobody asked for. It's eccentric, it's unfiltered, and it's very Britney, but it's also making a lot of people really uneasy. I mean, since the conservatorship ended in 2021, Britney's social media has been her only way to communicate with fans. No managers, no PR team, no carefully curated pop star image, just Britney, raw and unfiltered. And while that freedom is something fans fought very hard for, it also means that, you know, what you see is what you get. I mean, the problem is sometimes what we're getting feels less like empowerment and more like a cry for help. But let's not forget, there have been some bright spots too. Back in 2022, she teamed up with Elton John for Hold Me Closer, a duet that felt like her first big step back into music. Elton even said, you know, he wanted to help her find her voice again after everything she'd been through. Around that time, Britney also posted a kind of a stripped down a cappella version of Baby One More Time, reclaiming one of her most iconic songs in her own way without anyone controlling how she sounded. Those moments were hopeful, proof that Britney, you know, we know and love, was still kind of in there, ready to shine. But now, with each new video, whether it's dancing in circles, singing off key, or dropping selfies with emoji censorship, you know, the conversation is shifting. Fans are left wondering, is Britney finally being herself, finally rebelling against decades of control, or is it Britney spiraling in plain sight? It's hard to watch because there's no handbook for this, right? No one knows what Britney is really going through. We don't know if she's expressing her freedom in the only way she knows how, or if she's just quietly asking for help without saying it outright. What we do know though is that, you know, this is the same woman who once dominated the world stage and is now making headlines for Instagram filters, messy floors, and strange accents. And that's the heartbreaking part. Britney Spears is still one of the biggest names in pop culture, but instead of talking about her music or her artistry, we're left analyzing every post like it's a cry for help. One thing's undeniable though, Britney Spears needs something. Support, protection, space, maybe even guidance. Whatever it is, she can't keep doing this forever, not with the world watching every move. Britney is back again, but will she stick around this time? Fans are concerned something may be seriously wrong with her. So you thought Britney Spears was Kylie sipping smoothies in a Malibu mansion, right? Well, surprise, she just popped back up on Instagram looking like a lingerie ad collided with an emotional breakdown, and something about it feels off, way off. Let's rewind for a second. On November 2nd, Britney's Instagram account vanished, gone without a trace. Her handle disappeared, replaced by that very ominous, profile not found message you get when your ex blocks you and the app acts like you never existed, right? Fans panicked, conspiracy theories exploded, and the internet did what it does best, overanalyzed every pixel of her previous posts. Then, just 5 days later, Britney re-emerged like a phoenix in fishnets, but instead of the comeback vibes we're used to, which is like, cute selfies, tropical trips, or a little dancing in the living room, she dropped a very cryptic post. Black and white lingerie, leather boots, a caption about so much has happened this year and owning your boundaries, and of course, a little devil emoji. It's giving spiritual awakening meets chaos energy. Now let's be real, this comeback doesn't feel like a happy Britney's back moment. It feels eerie, like she's trying to say something, but through coded Instagram poetry. First, there's the timing. Her account disappears right after her ex-husband Kevin Federline starts making headlines again, dropping new claims, stirring up drama, basically trying to squeeze relevance out of Britney's pain. She claps back, posts a few emotional messages, and suddenly she's gone. Then there's the bruises. Before her account vanished, Britney posted a video showing visible bruises and bandaged wrist. She said she fell down the stairs at a friend's house. Fans were concerned, obviously. The captions didn't add up. The energy was dark. And when she came back, well, it wasn't with a fun dance video or a cheeky smile. It was something else, something, philosophical and unsettling. She told her followers to get your ballerina circle and own your boundaries. It's incredibly strict and somewhat of a form of prayer. What? I don't know. That's not just an influencer caption, that's a message from someone who's kind of been through it. So what's really going on here? My thoughts? Well, Britney's overwhelmed. She's had a year full of chaos, family drama, public judgment, and emotional exhaustion. Her captions kind of sound like someone that's trying to make sense of pain in real time. So much has happened this year. I try to live within my means. That's not the voice of someone thriving. It's the voice of someone surviving. My second thought is it's a cry for help disguised as an aesthetic post. The lingerie, the cryptic wording, the bruises, it all feels like symbolism, almost as if she's trying to communicate something deeper but doesn't trust anyone enough to say it outright. My third thought was she's taking control in the only way she knows how, by turning social media into her safe space and her battlefield at the same time. She deletes, returns, posts, disappears, repeats. Cycle keeps repeating. It's almost like a cycle of rebellion and self-protection, but no matter how you slice it, this doesn't look like a new era. This isn't the glammed up Britney we've known for decades. This is raw, unfiltered Britney, angry, hurt, spiritual, and unpredictable. And the most unsettling part, well, you can feel that something isn't right. The tone of her posts, the vanishing act, the cryptic messages, it's all screaming that there's more going on behind the scenes than anyone's letting on. If her account removal was her choice, it could mean she's kind of stepping away from the noise to find peace. But if it wasn't her choice, if it was taken down by Instagram or people around her, something serious is brewing. Either way, her comeback caption reads like a warning, and honestly, that's what makes it heartbreaking. Britney's not posting to entertain right now. She's posting to reclaim something. Maybe her voice, maybe her sanity, maybe just control over her own narrative. In an industry that's chewed her up and spit her out for decades, this might be her way of saying, I'm not your circus act anymore. So what's next? Will she vanish again? Will she, kind of speak out, drop a tell-all, a song, a meltdown? Nobody knows, honestly. But one thing's for sure, this isn't random. This is a signal. And while everyone's, online joking and speculating, you can feel it in your gut that something's seriously wrong. Because if we've learned anything from the last 2 decades of watching her, it's that the world doesn't always listen until it's too late.
Recently, reports have come out saying that Britney Spears adopted a little girl. In a post shared to her Instagram on Saturday, July 11th, Britney herself claimed that she had adopted a beautiful baby girl. Her name is Lennon London Spears, the singer added at the time, captioning a video of herself dancing in a pink leotard and wide-brimmed hat. Lennon today has on an adorable dress. It says, "I'm new here." Now, Billboard, however, has since confirmed that Britney did not actually welcome a new child through adoption. It appears that she might have just been joking around with everyone, as the caption to her post had a bunch of winky faces. Now, some people have thought that maybe she meant that she was adopting a dog, but no, Britney isn't adopting anything or anyone. Some fans doubted this though, as there is a baby carrier in the background of a recent Britney IG dance video, but TMZ has confirmed
confirmed with sources that she uses the baby carrier to transport her baby dolls, and sometimes she travels with them too. Now, according to sources quoted by TMZ and E! News, Britney wasn't being serious about the whole adoption thing. She's just messing with people, one insider confirmed. She hasn't adopted a child, and she hasn't taken in a new pet either, despite some speculation that she might have been talking about a puppy. Now, Britney already has 2 sons, Sean and Jaden, from her marriage to Kevin Federline. They're grown now, both in their late teens, and while she said a lot about them over the years, the idea of her having more kids hasn't really come up in a serious way, and she's also single right now. Now, this isn't the first time Britney has caused concern over her social media posts. In one conspiracy a couple years ago, people claimed that she was being photoshopped not only into her own pictures, but into photo posts made by her famous friends. Her friend Paris Hilton shared a photo of herself and Britney while they celebrated the birthday of a mutual friend, Kate Hudson, in early January 2023. Now, it wasn't long before people flocked to the comment section of the Instagram post to accuse Paris of photoshopping Britney's face into the image, with its smoothed out appearance raising suspicion. And not to mention, at one point in time, Britney had been posting some concerning videos of her dancing with knives. Now, authorities performed a wellness check on her after fans expressed concern over her, as she posted a video on her Instagram writing in the caption, "I started playing in the kitchen with knives today." Now, she added that fans shouldn't worry and that they weren't real knives. She posted again later saying, "I know I spooked everyone with that last post, but these are fake knives that my team rented from Hand Prop Shop in LA," she wrote in an Instagram caption beneath another dance video. "These are not real knives, and no one needs to worry or call the police. I'm trying to imitate one of my favorite performers, Shakira, a performance I was inspired by. Cheers to us bad girls who aren't afraid to push boundaries and take risks," she said. Now, should Britney's phone be taken away from her? Because all of this is just pretty crazy.
And at number 10, Britney bribed her parents' divorce. One of the most shocking revelations from Jamie Lynn's book and interviews was the fact that her parents never had the perfect marriage, and their father Jamie struggled with alcohol issues while they were young. This caused his behavior to be unpredictable when they were growing up, and it put a huge strain on their children. Because of the toxic relationship, Britney told her mother she would buy her a house if she divorced Jamie, her father. Her mother did this, got the house and the divorce, and then her father basically lived at the house anyway. Jamie Lynn says their dad was there the first night that the women moved into the new house. Jamie Lynn didn't know how to act. She was so young, she was knowing her sister's wishes, but seeing her mother staying with this man, she was angry, upset, and didn't know which side to take. And at number 9, barefoot in a gas station bathroom. In 2004, Britney made the strange decision to go barefoot into a sketchy bathroom, and the media questioned her cleanliness ever since that incident. While at a gas station in Ventura, California, Britney needed to use the bathroom and decided to just use one at the gas station. Her fiancé Kevin Federline was waiting in the car for her when paparazzi snapped her walking into the unisex bathroom with bare feet. Yup, that's right. Britney decided to use a unisex gas station bathroom with no shoes on. I feel like it would honestly be hard to find any celebrity that would be okay with using a gas station bathroom in general. After that, the media exploded questioning her hygiene, and I'm sure she regrets how much media attention that small moment got. But at the end of the day, if she feels fine going barefoot, who are we to judge? And at number 8, Jamie Lynn's terrifying experience. In her new book, Jamie Lynn describes a terrifying event with her sister that sheds light on the struggles that Britney was facing at that time. She wrote, quote, "One time she said to me, 'Baby, I'm scared,' and took a large knife from the kitchen, pulled me along to my room, and she locked us both inside. She put the weapon in the bedside table drawer and simply repeated, 'I'm scared.' She needed me to sleep beside her." Jamie Lynn describes how scared she was during that incident and claims she experienced panic attacks after that. Britney responded to the shocking allegations on Twitter, denying that the event ever happened. Britney wrote, quote, "I've never been around you with a knife, or would I ever think to do such." Neither parent has made a statement about which sister is telling the truth. And at number 7, Jason Alexander wedding. One of Britney's most controversial moments was when she decided to get married to her childhood friend in Vegas, clearly an impulsive move. Her sister Jamie Lynn gave more details surrounding this event in her book, and Jamie Lynn said she could sense that something was wrong when Britney came home for the holidays. Jamie Lynn describes Britney coming home for the holidays and acting very strange. Britney allegedly met up with Alexander on Christmas Eve before she took the women in the family on a tropical vacation. She wrote, quote, "Immediately I noticed that Britney was being secretive and keeping her distance. She wanted to be anywhere but with us. I was particularly hurt by her shunning. After the family got back from the trip, Britney flew to Vegas with friends, and Jamie Lynn knew something bad was going to happen. Jamie Lynn even remembers telling Britney not to get married. Then Britney just rolled her eyes and told her that she wouldn't. But as we know, just hours later Britney would in fact marry him. Jamie Lynn admitted she was embarrassed by the whole fiasco, though to keep up appearances she pretended at the time it was blown out of proportion. She added, "At that point, the chaos of my sister's life was just beginning." And at number 6, driving with infant on lap. In 2006, there was another incident with Britney and her new baby that actually caused the police to show up at her home to check on them. Paparazzi snapped Britney at a Malibu Starbucks driving out of the parking lot with her baby, Sean Preston, in her lap. This is not only illegal but very scary, as infants must ride in car seats to be as safe as possible on the road. When asked later about the incident, she blamed aggressive paparazzi. The paparazzi made her pull out quickly because she felt threatened. But the police did not care about this explanation, and the LA County Sheriff's Department visited Spears' home to talk about the incident at the request of county child welfare authorities. The paparazzi also clapped back at the claims and said they were not threatening her in any way. The photo agency said, quote, "These pictures were taken in a very peaceful context in which photographers exhibited no aggressive behavior." Halfway number 5, the family's Hollywood team made all the decisions. Although we are putting most of the blame on the conservatorship on Britney's father Jamie, which should be the case, we need to discuss the role that Hollywood executives had in it too. These executives also made a lot of family decisions during Jamie Lynn's unexpected teen pregnancy. This is the reason that Britney's made a point to talk about the bad job done by her previous lawyers, along with the manipulation by Lou Taylor, who was Britney's business manager at the time of her conservatorship. It is widely believed that Taylor was the real architect of the conservatorship and gave Jamie the tools he needed to control Britney's life. Jamie Lynn herself even questioned who made a lot of the decisions during her time pregnant. Jamie Lynn also stated that the media has been twisting a lot of the quotes that the sisters have said, and the media are the ones putting the wedge between the whole family. And at number 4, almost dropped her son. This was another incident back in 2006 involving her newborn son. Only a week after the incident where she was caught driving with the baby on her lap, she tripped while walking in Manhattan and almost dropped her son, Sean Preston. She was leaving the Ritz-Carlton holding a drink in her right hand and Sean in her left as she maneuvered through the crowd of onlookers. Britney moved through the crowd and then she suddenly tripped. The baby's head then went backward as the hat flew off his head. Britney regained her balance and the baby seemed okay thanks to a quick reaction from the bodyguard. To make matters worse, it didn't look like she spilled a drop of the drink that she was holding in her other hand. It was reported that days later she had a breakdown over the incident. Since 2 of these similar incidents with her son happened so closely together, her parenting skills were further scrutinized by the public. And at number 3, attacks paparazzi with umbrella. One of Britney's worst moments in the press was in 2007 when she attacked a paparazzi with a green umbrella because she was so mad over all the attention she was getting. At this time, Britney was clearly going through a lot. She had just shaved her head in front of the public. It was all anyone was talking about. Britney was begging to be left alone and deal with her issues while not getting bombarded with paparazzi. But obviously that did not happen and she was hounded more than ever. At the time, her paparazzi attack became so famous that a Florida morning radio host even used photos from her breakdown on his Total Nutjobs billboards. Months after the incident, she apologized in a bizarre statement, writing, quote, "I apologize to the pop for a stunt that was done 4 months ago regarding an umbrella. I was preparing my character for a role in a movie where the husband never plays his part, so they switch places accidentally. I take all my roles very seriously and got a little carried away. Unfortunately, I didn't get the part." And at number 2, screaming at Sam Lufty. Sam Lufty is one of the most controversial people in the world of Britney Spears, and her entire family blames Sam for her eventual downfall in 2007. In 2008, the pair got in a screaming match over Britney's boyfriend at the time, paparazzo Adnan Ghalib, and this was one of many of their public fights back then. Apparently, Britney and Sam got in a huge fight and Britney refused to go into his house, so she called her boyfriend, Adnan Ghalib, to come get her at Sam's house. He came right over, but when he got there, Sam would not let him get Britney. The guards were under strict orders from Sam not to let him in. He tried calling each of her 6 cell phones and the house phone, but she did not answer. Years later, Britney would get restraining orders from both Sam Lufty and Adnan Ghalib. And finally, number 1, her career was almost threatened. Back in the 90s when Britney was becoming a star, there was a man in the shadows of all the most famous boy bands who ended up scamming all of them. The man was named Lou Pearlman, and he created both the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. He wanted Spears to join a girl group that he had been working on, but she was more set on being a solo artist at the time. Thankfully, she didn't want to be in a girl group, or she would have been working with Perlman when the members of the boy bands realized that they were being scammed. He was later sued for fraud and misrepresentation by most of the pop acts that he worked with, on top of being behind one of the largest Ponzi schemes in history, and the members of the boy bands only received a fraction of the money that he owed them.
Number 10. Mama drama. One thing that comes up a lot in Britney Spears' memoir is her relationship to her parents. She discusses the strain that was placed especially on the bond between herself and her mom, Lynn Spears. She dived deep into her childhood and what actually went down. In the book, she said that she started drinking no-no juice with her mother when she was just in the 8th grade. Of course, that's awful and no one should ever do that, because Britney wouldn't just have a sip of it. No, she would just drink no-no juice all day like it was her job. She explained that for fun, she started having fruity no-no juice with her mom while they were in Biloxi, Mississippi. Say that 10 times fast and I will give you $100. To make things feel less illegal, they would call the drinks toddies, named after the adult beverage that's basically just no-no tea. Britney felt a special bond with her mother because of this, especially considering the contrast between her mom and her dad when he would drink. When her mother had a few, she was bubbly and had, the same bright personality, and that's what Britney had as well. But when Jamie had a few, he would get angry and depressed. That behavior is terrible, and while bonding with your parents is awesome, not the right way to do it. Number 9. Jamie Lynn Spears. In her memoir, Britney says that she's working very hard to have more compassion towards her sister, Zoe 101 herself, Jamie Lynn Spears. In the book, Britney revealed a ton of information on Jamie, including the fact that for the entirety of her conservatorship, Jamie would just tell her to move on and stop fighting for control. Britney writes that her younger sister ruled the roost at their home in Kentwood growing up, leaving Britney feeling like a ghost to her parents. She writes that she would walk into the family room and that no one would look at her. Her sister was always too glued to the TV, and according to Britney, would constantly berate their mother, calling her every name in the book. According to Britney, Jamie did nothing to help her during her time under the conservatorship. When she was placed into a mental health facility in 2018, she asked Jamie for support. She replied by telling Britney to just give in and stop resisting. At the time, Britney was under immense mental stress and wrote that she was scared that someone was maybe trying to hurt her in the facility. Her relationship with her sister Jamie has been strained for a long time, with Jamie lying to her several times, including one incident where Jamie claimed that a Zoe 101 co-star was being mean to her on set. Britney confronted the star, Alexa Nichols, by yelling in her face, and she had no idea what was happening or why, because it turned out that she was being lied to from the very beginning. Good sibling right there. Number 8. Justin Timberlake. Now, one of the most discussed sections of the memoir is of course the revelation of what actually happened when Britney and her Mickey Mouse Club co-star Justin got together. After meeting JT in the clubhouse, the two sparked a romantic connection. The connection was so strong, but unfortunately Britney had to make a very tough decision in 2000 after she found out she was pregnant. At first, Britney was actually pretty excited about this. In her book, she actually revealed that she had planned on starting a family with Justin at some point, but I guess that it was just gonna happen a little bit earlier than it expected. Well, it turned out that Justin didn't want anything to do with this. He was not excited at all, and he just told her that they were both too young to be starting a family, reminding her that their careers would also have to be put on pause. Ultimately, she decided not to have the baby, something that she claims to be the most devastating decision of her life. Now, part of the memoir revealed this about Britney and Justin, but another part revealed what exactly this man did to break up with Britney. The breakup happened while Britney was on set for the overprotected Dark Child remix music video in LA, but towards the end of the second day of filming, the director Chris Applebaum told Page Six that Spears suddenly went missing for almost an hour. The director found Britney in her trailer on the floor with her legs crossed, bawling her eyes out while her makeup just slowly fell down her face. She said nothing but showed him the text that she got from Justin that just said, "It's over." Following the breakup, Justin wrote and released the song Cry Me a River based on his experience with Britney, claiming that she had cheated on him while they were together, something that she actually confirmed in her book that did happen with a choreographer named Wade Robson. Number 7. Jamie Spears. Britney's father Jamie has had a complex relationship with his daughter for the most of her life, and that is putting it lightly. In her memoir, she shared the harsh judgment she constantly got from her father, explaining that she thought getting criticized for her body in the press was bad. It hurt even more when it was coming from her own father. He repeatedly told her that she looked heavy and that she really needed to do something about it. She explained that even as a small child, he never gave her the love or attention that she needed. She said that feeling like you are never good enough is a soul-crushing state for a young child. He drummed that message into her growing up, and even after she accomplished so much, he continued to make her feel like dirt. Jamie's wild opinions about Britney got so much worse when she was under her conservatorship. Under the conservatorship, Jamie was named as one of the several people in her life that could make important decisions for her mind, body, and soul. She was forced to grow her recently shaved hair back out and go back into shape. For 13 years, that man remained in control of her life right up until the suspension in 2021. Number 6. Yeet the parents. Following the end of her conservatorship, Britney was able to make decisions for herself again, taking full control over her mind, her body, and her soul. And one of the first decisions that she made was to drop her family from her life entirely. The moment of realization came when she went to visit her parents in 2021. According to Britney, they had stopped answering their phones, so she decided to drive out and see what was up. During the visit, she learned that her beloved Madame Alexander doll collection that she got when she was growing up was thrown away by her family. She also came to find that multiple years of writing had been trashed, including binders full of poems that could have occupied their own book. She decided if they were ready to throw her away, then she was going to do the same thing to them. Number 5. Christina Aguilera. Despite Christina Aguilera's publicly advocating for Britney and her ex Justin to get back together, behind closed doors she felt the exact opposite. Britney and Christina grew close after meeting on set of the Mickey Mouse Club. As time went on, they became close, and Christina was well aware of the pain caused by Justin during and after the relationship. Despite seeing the pain firsthand, she decided to team up with Justin for the Justified and Stripped tour in 2003, only 1 year after the split. They were together on the cover of Rolling Stones in a manner that made the room steamy when you read it. Britney revealed that she was mad at Christina for a very long time, admitting that she was jealous that Christina was free to party and see people while she was forced to sit back and watch. In the early 2000s, the two had a semi-public rivalry. Christina would regularly bash Britney and make claims like she was a lost little puppy backstage at the 2003 Video Music Awards. Number 4. Conservatorship. As many people know, Britney was placed under a psychiatric hold in 2008 following what we will call a difficult evening, and was later placed under a conservatorship by her father. In her book, she explained what she had been going through at the time, saying that shaving her head and acting out were ways of pushing back. Under the conservatorship, she was made to understand that those days were now over. She had to grow her hair back, get back into shape, she went to bed early, and took whatever medication she was told to. Britney revealed that she felt like an infant under the conservatorship and lost her passion for music. She explained that she started to feel more like a thing on stage rather than a person. In her book, she said that she had always felt music was in her bones, but her family stole it from her. She reminded readers of the contrast between male and female artists, telling them to think of all the male artists who gambled their money away, who had substance control issues or mental health issues, anything like that, but many of them have never had control of their bodies or money taken away. Before the book was released, people were just under the impression that the conservatorship was more of a financial and mental kind of thing, but as the book revealed, it is a lot darker than that, and we'll probably learn a lot more once it's actually released out into the public. Number 3. Why she shaved her head. In 2007, many people believed that Britney had just kind of snapped. Her rage was nothing more than celebrity-induced psychosis, right? No. But in her memoir, Britney revealed what exactly prompted the public meltdown. She was in the midst of a painful divorce with Kevin Federline, and she was constantly bombarded by paparazzi. She wrote that she had been eyeballed up and down for her entire life, with people telling her what they thought of her physical features constantly. Shaving her head was an act of defiance. It was a way of pushing back. The shaving took place only a day after she was released from a rehab facility in Antigua, which, it just didn't help the case that she was trying to make. A year later, the conservatorship was put into place. As part of the new rule, she was forced to grow her hair back out and was made to take the medications to help speed up the process. Number 2. Robot. When speaking about her conservatorship, Britney described how the 13-year ordeal made her feel like she was her father's little robot at his beck and call. She outed her father as being a terrible human being, but we've already talked about that. He stole a lot of money and stuff from her and threw out her dolls. He's great. Britney said that feeling like she wasn't enough was a message that her father made sure to drum into her skull growing up, writing that she became a sort of robot, becoming so infantilized that she was losing pieces of what made her herself. Although her body and finances were being controlled by her father, she was deemed well enough to work in what the former estate conservator called a hybrid business model. She writes that the estate controlled who her friends were, where she could go, and logged her every purchase down to drinks from Buc-ee's. She also said in court that that she had been forced to take baby control pills and medication against her will. And at number 1, being a mom. Britney was placed into a conservatorship after having kids with her ex-hubby Kevin Federline. In her memoir, she revealed that one of the main reasons she went along with the terms of her conservatorship was so that she could see her kids, Sean and Jaden. According to Britney, she did everything in her power to get out of this conservatorship or work around the rules somehow, but unfortunately she was unsuccessful. Kevin was given sole custody of the younglings in 2008 after Britney was hospitalized when she locked herself in a bathroom with her sons and refused to give them back to their father. They made a deal, according to her, freedom for naps. She was given permission to visit and cuddle the kiddos every once in a while. At the same time she revealed this information, Britney also shared that they brought her comfort in a time when she was forced to be very uncomfortable. After her father forced her into 2 psychological assessments where they physically pinned her to a gurney, she realized that she could do nothing to stop them from doing anything to her physical body, so she had to start figuring out what to do mentally. Her kids brought her a sense of calmness that she was able to hold on to and use to get through a really tough time.